Okay, here we go. Another part. So yeah, we lost the back half of the SSN footage, but it was after the rival fight. It was purely just tentacles and stuff. Pretty boring. I tried to speed it up, and then the video, or either way, the video was too long, and I ended up losing some footage. But we've improved things since then. Because it turns out the program that combines my audio and video, it already exports as MP4, so I don't need to use this online converter, which has the file size limit. So yeah, it should be less prone to error and more efficient in the future. Now, as for this, so I got out of the SSN, just went to talk to the generic NPCs in the buildings in Vermilion before the gym, and one of them is like, the one who normally says they use a Pidgey as a letter carrier in the base game is like, can you deliver this letter to my friend on this island? And then suddenly you're on a boat and you're on this island, and it's like original content for this ROM hack in Ultraviolet. So yeah, we're suddenly on this bloody island that we didn't ask to go to. There's new Pokemon here. But yeah, like jumping ahead, I decide later, I don't really, anything I catch here, I basically put all the stuff that's like bonus content in another box, because I feel like it makes the base game too easy if I've potentially got like a sudden handful of other Pokemon that God knows how powerful they are or aren't. I don't know. I don't recognise most of them. So yeah, I'm going to catch stuff, one in each area as normal, but I'm not going to I'm not going to use them as of whatever part I've recorded, played up till when I'm overdubbing this one. I haven't used them yet. Oh, that's a lie. I'm going to use. I might use one as I might use them as HM slaves or something. But I mean, I'm not going to use them in combat, as far as I know. Yeah, it gives you a. I guess that's where I got the blue float. I was wondering that actually the other day, but bit weird. But yeah, there's no box here and stuff. I don't know if you can come back because it's all new, so I end up giving Bellsprout the cut, which could be a problem if we ends up becoming our main grass guy in the future. So you're not allowed in because you don't live on the island. But I guess that's why we got cut. Looks like there should be an item there, but there isn't. And yeah, I think that thing is like half fire, half flying, which is cool, but sadly we already caught that chameleon thing. So this is definitely one area. The thing is, this, because it's like ROM hack shit, it doesn't have that thing saying like, oh, you're in a new area. Like, it doesn't have the white top thing. So I was like, does this count as a new area or not? Or what counts as an area on this content? So I actually did, again, I looked at the guide, try not to read any like juicy info on like spawn rates and stuff, but it worked for just sort of giving an idea of what the actual areas are. See, that looks like a ghost Pokemon to me, and there's a shortage of ghost Pokemon in the base game, so, you know, that would have been cool if I'd got him instead, but alas. I guess it's fire too. And yeah, see, this is now clearly a town, but I don't know if there'll be... See, it totally feels like there should be an item here, but it's just aesthetics. There's something about even the best made, player-made towns compared to the ones in the base game. There's something about like the layouts people do that just, you can tell it's almost like not from the game. Like even like these buildings, you can get behind them. They didn't really do that. You know, they usually have things backed into corners. It's like they're flush with walls and stuff. But yeah. So this is some kind of lab. Old ass lady talking about a tower. Guardians of the Islands, that's presumably some legendary Pokemon. Something about the buildings is just off, you know. And yeah, you don't live here, so you can't go down there. Some kind of town hall meeting about something you're not privy to. Yeah, see, getting behind these buildings, just, you wouldn't do that. Don't have a fishing rod yet. The old rod's available, but it will only be Magikarps. And these little kids in the mare, they're just small apparently, but it's a good bit. Again, I just feel like that's something they wouldn't do in a base game, use a child's model for a short human. No fighting here. Well, it's a bit pointless as a Pokemon trainer then, isn't it? Why Leonard's so special. Now, if you were a woman and you were like travelling to a strange island and you walked into someone's house, some guy called Leonard, I guess, would you just sleep in his bed with some strange man you don't know in the room? I just find that a bit sus. The Pokemon's red, which is confusing. And yeah, like... So I don't know what those white balls do. I have a feeling they're just like a way of getting Premier Balls in. But I don't know if they're like stronger than Pokeballs. And so I don't want them to give me a differential advantage in the base game, really. Drug dealer. So yeah, what I figure I'll do is I'll only use those white balls on Pokemon from here. It'd be a nice way to make them visually distinct as well if I ever use them. Yeah, I think I've sped this footage up too, which is probably a good thing because he looks like he should be part fire because he's red, but I have a feeling he might just be a bug. Very low level, so we can't afford to hit him even once. Bloody string shot. I thought we had seen the last of that with no more Caterpies and stuff. Time to seed him. You know, thinking about it, I just had a thought. You know, like the whole Nuzlocke thing. Like if your Pokemon are dead in game, they resurrect Pokemon from fossils. Like so, they're like dead imprints of dinosaurs. Really, it should be like from the skeletons and the marrow, but because I think fossils aren't actually the original skeleton, they're like replace the skeleton, right, or something. There's something going on with fossils in real life. But either way, if they can make something out of a fossil, surely they can make something out of a fresh corpse. Like, Pokemon death should be pretty impossible, yet they do canonically die. I mean, there's the Pokemon Tower, for Christ's sake, full of graves, so what's that about? What is it about being fossilized? Like, that'd be quite a clever workaround. If your pet dies, you fossilize it somehow, you put it in conditions that accelerate, fossilization, I guess, and then you could bring it back to life. Or even if it's like not going to be done in time for your life, that'd be a cool little short story, like someone who loves their Pokemon so much that they try and like make it so it survives, even if they're not going to see it again. Haunted woods. See, then I was like, do these woods count as like, if it's haunted woods up there, is that different to these woods? It's hard to say. But I think I looked it up, and yeah, these woods count as one lot of woods, even though there's like a scenery change. There's no like loading screen. But yeah, I called that worm, it was like a worm, and so I called it vermi because of like vermicompost. Which is like a permaculture thing. But yeah, these woods are annoying because I can't catch a new Pokemon. It's just, I really should be using repels. I'm literally just stingy. That's the only reason I'm not. But yeah, I can't catch any of these fuckers. But this is a distinct area. It even says it. I had to look up if that thing we counted in the woods was legendary or not. I paused the footage and then I forgot to unpause it, I believe. That's what happened there. But he's not a legendary, so we didn't catch him. For some reason he looks like he should be legendary, in my opinion. But yeah, this thing looks like someone who can use Flash. Yeah, I believe it's Psychic type, which we got a shortage of those, but I don't know anything about its levels, its stats, its moves, its anything. So it's like the trouble with these new Pokemon that you don't know. And then I'm gutted, because this is a much cooler Pokemon. I didn't have a fire one. And, you know, that was like a fire turtle, and it's much more in keeping with the old designs and type coverage. It would have been good. That would have been a cool Pokemon to have, but such is life. We caught that stupid thing first. And now we're going to see a million of these things. It's kind of frustrating. But it is what it is. Yeah, see, I like that Fire Red. It added some new, in relation to Generation 1 at least, Pokemon. But only after you've done the base game. I felt that was a good way to do it, whereas this sends you to this island too early on, in my opinion. But, you know, it means you could go through the game with a Torkoal or something, I guess, if you wanted one. This gives you more choice. You don't have to play it. In hindsight, perhaps I should have done the base game of Fire Red. That blue float, for example, could be potentially OP, but to be fair, I don't think I use it until I get the Poké Flute. Because I forget about it, because you don't normally have it. It's the trouble with enhanced features, you've got to remember to use them. Oh, I can't stop itching my fucked up hand. Got to leave it alone. Willpower. Concentrate on Pokemon. It's good advice for life. Anything bother you? Concentrate on Pokemon. Yeah, see, that looks like it should be a fucking legendary. It's so weird, that Pokemon. One of the later game legendaries anyways. So we're done with the woods. And we're done with the meteor site, I guess, too, for now. Talks about using an earthquake there. I have to come back when I've got earthquake from Giovanni. So there's just this way out of the town. Whatever this area holds. Again, I was worried, is this part of the forest? You know, like how they have a route sometimes either side of a town. But I'm pretty sure this is its own area. So I guess we'll do the cave first. Whatever the fuck this thing is, I assume it's a fighting type or electric type by the colour. I feel like it can take a tackle at that level. Speed things up. But yeah, I have no idea what these Pokemon are. I have no emotional attachment to them whatsoever. But it's good to... It felt comfortable getting my numbers back up, even though I ended up deciding not to use them, but at the time it was good. Makuhita. It's weird how it doesn't seem to tell you the type when you catch one. You have to actually inspect it, which is weird. I think that'd be an important thing. Some weird ass monkey meditation thing. Some of these Pokemon are dumb. Yeah, it's totally worth speeding the footage up. See, I feel like the game does like Mount Moon is where moonstones are, you know, and it's the first cave in the whole game, so you kind of forgive it. But like this mountain doesn't mean anything to me because it's not been established in the lore. There's not been any NPCs really talking about it. I guess it's hard to introduce a large amount of content and sort of build up for it. Like, I guess with a ROM hack, if it's... Oh, that clearly needs strength. With this bad motherfucker. Might have seen that on Sword and Shield, I'm not sure. But, yeah, I feel like it's easier to do a ROM hack where it's entirely new areas, because you're like, new adventure, whereas when you add content to an old content, it just feels tacked on sometimes. And, like, yeah, if it was like a distraction from the main game, that in this case, you know, I'm worried will make me too overpowered or something. That looks like it should be an entrance or something, but I don't know if it is. I'm getting bored of fleeing from these guys. I really should just start popping repels. I can always make, because on this one you can make money with a Versus Seeker, and repels are pretty cheap, so I'm going to start doing it, I think. Yeah, because it's annoying. Makes the footage last way longer. You get more done in a part with some repels. I think I'm just trying to decide if this counts as a separate area. I've decided to be more strict on areas now than I was before. God, it's a long ass cave too. Not a lot going on. There's no trainers. There's nothing like. It's not getting like more volcanic. Like. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do it. I'm not that creative. I couldn't make a good design, but yeah, nah. So we're not going to take him without casualties. Either we're going to like wipe to him, or even if we won, probably get heavy casualties, and then maybe he's overpowered for the rest of the game. And so it's like, I'll leave him there for now. He's one of the new Pokemon I actually like. The legendaries, they put a bit more effort in, so, on average. So, a legendary from like one generation after you think the designs become uninspired is probably okay compared to the regular Pokemon of that generation. I like that there's the ground one and the water one, and he like has to break them up, and there's memes about it, like him being a parent, Rayquaza or whatever the fuck he's called. Plus that Pokemon Origins short made him look cool as fuck, where he's in space and fires a hyper beam at the alien. That's like dope. But yeah, I guess I'll come back for him or something. But then, yeah, I've got to trudge all the way. I really should have just used an escape route. I'm such a cheap bastard. But, yeah, long-ass run back through. And really, it's past me fucking present me, because now I've got to, like, try and think of something interesting to say while I run through this cave and flee from mid-to-tights. When really, I could have just escape rope that fucker. Or used dig, right? Why didn't I think of that? But the thing is, I know I've also got that grass area outside this cave to go. And so I kind of don't want to skip past that. I still got one more Pokemon to get from there. Plus, I don't know if any of these areas count as a Pokemon Center, because they don't have a Pokemon Center. So I don't know how Dig or an escape rope where that would take me to. These things are weird. They're a weird design. They started like not putting details like claws on their feet. They got so lazy with designs. Like it's just round, Here we go. And yeah, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently he's a starter. He's a grass starter from one of the later gens. White ball him. Yeah, sometimes I've been really lucky with capture rates on this game, and I'm worried that he like nerfed them in this ROM hack, but then occasionally I'll get one where it's like not having it, where it won't go in the ball. So I think I've just been lucky. Which is funny because you don't need to catch as many on a Nuzlocke, so you kind of don't need that good luck, I guess. I hate with Confused where you can't like top it up. I know that'd be OP, but what happens is you don't want to hit it, so you fire off Confuse again, and it won't land because it's already confused, and then immediately next move is like it's unconfused, and it's like, well, why can't I chain the confusion? I'd rather they lowered the rate and you're allowed to chain it or top it up. I don't know. But alas, he's wounded and he's sleeping, so he gets in the ball. But yeah, so I'm thinking he's kind of like a gecko, and in America they have like gecko car insurance, and character limit comes in again. But yeah, so I'm calling him insurance as a reference to that, which is not that particularly clever, but I think it's also funny. If he's a grass starter, I guess he's also insurance for if my grass starter dies. He's like an insurance policy, I thought that was mildly amusing. But yeah, weird ass cactus thing. I read this alright Pokemon fanfic once, which is a lame thing to say out loud, but or do in general, or have done. But yeah, like it was about if Ho-Ho goes crazy, I guess, with like how corrupt the world is, and he unleashes all Pokemon's inhibitors, So like I guess it's like the dex entries become literal kind of deal, and Pokemon are way more powerful, and like they're vicious. They don't want to be caught anymore, and so only the Pokemon that are like already caught are still loyal to their masters, and wild ones will try and kill people. They're homicidal, I guess, and it's like a rebellion, you know. And it's like humanity versus the thing, and it's Ash and his friends, and then there's like spin-offs chapters he did where it's like characters from the other seasons of the anime that I never watched, and yeah, that was like, it was a compelling premise, and I like grimdark takes on like kid shit, but yeah, it's funny, every group post that weren't the Kanto people, all their Pokemon were like, I have no idea what the fuck they were. Like I'm reading a description, like he sent out his whatever, and I don't know what it is. I can't visualize it. It was kind of weird, and you can kind of figure out that cactus one is what reminded me, because one of them was, I think, the evolved form of that, which is like saying it's firing needles. It's like it describes it as a cactus. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like a cactus Pokemon, cool. But the annoying thing with that dude and his fic was that he got like, I guess he was like wanted to be a writer or something, and he became a bit better as it was a long running series, and he kept going back and doing rewrites and like deleting chapters, and then or like deleting whole things and going, oh, this is a rewrite of the earlier version, blah, blah, blah. Like kept doing rewrites, and it's like I've read like up to this point in the story, I want more of the fucking story. Stop re-releasing part one. And like it was because so many, he had done them as separate like entries, these side chapters, like what happened to the people in Johto, what happened to people and it just became confusing and unwieldy. It's like, look, just give me fucking chapter 1 through 100 and leave them alone. Maybe rewrite it one day in the future, you know. It just irritated the piss out of me, really. But yeah, and our fish is done anyway. I can't remember what the name of that Pokemon fic is, but I kind of wish I'd love to read some kind of gritty reboot where you're like, it's like revolutionaries with Pokemon or something. I want to make a rom hack where it's like fascists of liberals have let fascists take over, and there's like a resistance, because you would only have they control Pokeball manufacturing, so that's why no one just has Pokemon to like rebel. You know, where you can't just grind something to 100 and then slaughter all the rockets or whatever, because you don't have Pokemon and Pokeballs. And that'd be like slums and stuff, and you have to get access to different parts of the city, and like you've got some like undercover agents working for you. My thinking was it would be a Porygon would be the main starter, because you know they've got no access to Pokemon, but this group of resistance, they've been grabbing tiny bits of one of the resistance people used to work on. The fuck happened to the footage? Okay, I guess that's the footage. I'll finish this anecdote later, I guess. Yeah, weird.